morning, everybody. Welcome back to another review. So I decided on what to review today. And today we are going to review the EVL Reaper V3. Now with that, we're going to bring it down. I'm going to show you here. I got a couple extra tins with some extra goodies inside of it. I'm going to show you some of the things you can get. And then also, not going to do the build because I didn't make one that's designed for it, but I will show you the build that's inside of this one right here. So when you get to see this one, inside of this, you get an idea what you got going on. Okay, let's bring it in. Let's see if it'll autofocus. And right there, EVL V3. Okay, so with that, let's get down to it. Let's see, what drip tip am I going to use? I don't know. But irregardless, it don't matter. EVL Reaper V3 comes in two forms. You have a polycarbonate tank, and you also get you can also opt for an Ultim tank. They come in two different sizes. So currently on mine, I have the 2 mil option on side of there. Okay. I mean, that's the that's the 2 mil option. And here's an Ultim edition. That's 2 mil option as well. So they're very easy to interchange these. All you literally do is you push up, bloop, and they're sealed with an O-ring, and then this piece comes off. Now, mind you, each one of these chimneys is only designed for the tank itself. The 5 mil option, which looks like this is the 5 mil option right here. As you see, the chimney is larger. It's a different chimney size. So it's not an extension. It's nothing like that. And as you see, this tank has juice sitting inside of it. Okay. And that's because they made something pretty cool. It can kind of revert back to something like Vicious Ant has done, but theirs is a little bit different, where they have a slide cap. For juice savings, but what it is a tank holder. So basically all you do is you take your cap, sit on top of your chimney piece, and you screw it down, and it has an O-ring so it gets a little snug. But what it does is when it gets done, you now have a sealed tank that you can take your juice, put it in your bag. When you're ready to go, you can unscrew this and just take your deck, screw the other piece on, pop it back on. Okay, so I want to show you that. So now, all right, so here we go. So we got the EVL, okay. This is a tin it comes in, sealed on top, pop it open, and bam, you got Muji cotton for days. If you're a Muji lover, there you go. I'm not, so I don't like it. So you pop some of this Muji out, set it off to the side, and this is how your tank will come. Now, as you see, this one was coming in. It came in a 2 mil configuration with a polycarbonate. On the bottom, something unique you will notice. The airflow ring. So let me zoom that in and let you see that. So, as you see right there, the EVL has single-sided airflow, which is right there. But then, on this ring, you have different holes, if it will focus. Let's go back to manual. Okay. So you have different style airflows on this. There we go. And all you have is different holes for different airflows. So you got like your mouth to lung right there. Look how tiny that is. And it goes a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger, a little bit bigger. We're getting bigger, and that's it. So that's your largest hole right there, okay? You can see straight through it. And all you do is you take your tank, you match up whatever air hole you're going to go on, and bam, there's your airflow setup, okay? It will stay on, you know, because it is an octagon cut on the bottom of the tank, so as you see. Now, there's one accessory that you can buy for it. It's called a 22 to 24 millimeter adapter. So with this, you open this up, more Muji cotton, set that off to the side, and then you can have this adapter ring. They are the same type of airflow rings, okay? But the difference is it goes from a 22 and it spans out to a 24. So when you put this on, if I can stop throwing stuff, you just put it on. And now you have a 24 millimeter ring, same airflow, nothing changes. All the airflow slots are all the same, okay? And what I'm going to use today to show you this tank, because I like it, is going to be, just bring it out some, is the BC mods, okay? There's no battery in it. I'm using it for strictly the purpose of showing this. This is one of my favorite red rosewood BC mods from BC Customs. So really simple. I'm going to take the 24 millimeter adapter ring. I'm going to put it on there. And when I slide this down, it will completely cover that 510. Okay, as where the 22 will leave you some gappage on it, so you will still see some of it. All you do is take your airflow. There are notches. Okay, so let's zoom that in. Focus. As you can see, the notches right here, and you'll line those notches up with the V, and it pops off that tank. Okay, so there's that. So then you bring it back out, we'll focus it back up again, and there's your EVL Reaper V3. Dual deck or dual post style, single airflow. This comes in many forms, so one form. So this is your juice control ring right here. This little insert, okay? So this is how you control your juice. Now, I've noticed that sometimes, depending on what cotton you use, you can flip this ring upside down to get better juice control, or keep it the same way. I choose to keep mine wide open at all times, and I'm going to show you how you can make this work. So let's bring it down some. And then there's your juice channels, okay? And if you just take it and turn your ring right here, all you have to do is spin this. As you see, it'll cut off that juice well right there. Okay? And once you bring it back, you know, it's just how you want it, how much juice. It's basically based on the viscosity of your juice. That's all it is. Okay? You can get this with a new insert, which is more of the mouth to lung, which means this is a lot smaller. There is no adapter like that comes with it that will change, you know, the airflow, but you can control the airflow off that ring on the bottom. Okay? The posts are very, very easy and very simple to use. Flathead screwdriver, and they come right up. Now this is more of the old school style where you have to wrap your wire around and play with it. I've noticed, like, okay, for instance, if I was to use my coil here, okay, this is a very fine coil. Let's bring it all the way in, focus that coil. So this is a fused Clapton, and I like very fine fused Claptons for my builds. High ohm builds, great flavor. It's amazing all the way around. This one is a little bit thicker than I was doing before, but I've been noticing that this does a little bit better for me, for my personal taste. So that's just personal preference, okay? But it's really simple. You literally set your build in, and I've noticed no more than a 2.5 millimeter build is suffice for this. I usually flip it like this and put my legs in and then wrap them around, and I usually keep a jig inside, so when I wrap around, it'll build itself, okay? So what I'll do is I'm going to show you on the other one. So bring this back up some. Let's get it focused. So as you see here, you know, all I got to do is bring my notch back over to the V, flip it upside down, pop it down, and then there it is. So there's the build deck with the build in it. Okay, I am using a little bit more of a sweeter juice, but this cotton is still fine. It's just dark. As you can see, the ramp up is still amazing. And this is a 1.71 ohm build, okay? And the only thing you want to make sure of is that you get the juice covered around these airflow holes. Because once these are covered up just right, your juice flow will come in here and saturate your cotton. Too little, it'll leak in those holes. If you put too little cotton inside these wicking channels on either side, you will leak like a sieve, okay? And that's why sometimes I say if you're using a thinner juice like a 50-50, 60-40, just flip that ring over, and it generally will help with leakage and oversaturation, okay? So on this particular mod, because it is the Duke SX version, the Duke 2 by Vicious Amp, this houses only a 22 millimeters, therefore I cannot use that additional beauty ring that comes with it. Now, with that, you know, I'm going to go ahead and put this other one away. Where I put it, okay. So the reason to keep this one out and put everything where it goes. So I'll put my 22 mil ring back on, set it back in its holder right here. That's all it is. Sets down just like that. Slap all the Muji cotton for that packaging, which protects it very, very well. Now you can order these with just a 5 mil tank if you want to. You don't have to get it with the 2 mil tank. And you can get it in both the polycarbonate clear or, you know, because here's an additional tank I got just in case one of mine cracked. So I've got a spare. I've got more actually than this. Okay. Everything is covered and packed in Muji. But then you have this one. So this was a little extra I got. So you get the 2 mil and you have a 5 mil option. So you can see the difference on here. And this is the Ultim tanks. Okay. Let's get that to focus some. There we go. And literally, like I said earlier, it's just a chimney swap. You literally just pop your chimney on the top that's flat. The bottom side is the side that will go down. That's where you're going to screw in the bottom base. The bottom base is this piece here. So when you're switching juices, you're going to take this, you're going to turn it, and this is also how you fill it. You're going to take that off. As you see, there's the 2 mil. Okay. You're going to go take your other tank. You're going to flip it upside down. Because, see, this is the one that has the juice bottle holder. I have no clue remembering what juice I put in this. So I'm going to let it sit for a little bit and let it naturally saturate itself up. But that's all you do is you pop this off, set it off to the side, grab your deck, and just put the other deck on. Okay, and that's how simple it is. They're very easy to do. Set that off to the side. We're going to go ahead and put the Ultims away. Put their lovely Muji source away. as well. Okay, set off my mod to the side. Put the little cap back on it. Yes, sir, we are. And that's that. You know, I'll take the drip tip off because I'm going to use it, which is the titanium tip. They do also make this in a titanium rendition. And I do have the titanium rendition. This is the titanium top with the drip tip, and I have a titanium deck. So then now, you know, I believe it's the same juice in here. So all I do is you put it in and slide it around. Okay, so in order to get your juice flow to go, when you first get it on, it's going to look like this because you're first going to have it in like this. Okay, this is how it's going to look. Let's get that to focus. You're going to get the V on that notch. Okay, all you have to do is turn this all the way over till you get the V over your airflow hole. Now you know you are opened up and ready to go. So, that's how simple this is. Let's go back to autofocus. Okay, and now I have a 5 mil tank. Okay, so I still have batteries, so the SX is still good. All right, but it would be able to use on that 22 to 24. I could use it on the other sorry, the other Duke 2 by Vicious Ant, because this does house up to a 24 millimeter. So I could put it on, but the one flaw I see in it is the fact that the airflow sets here. It could possibly be okay, you know, looking at it with that ring, but I just get worried that because of the lip that this one has is different. If it wasn't for this lip, I would use that 24 mil tank. So 19.5 watts. Same juice that's inside. So let's go ahead, bring it back up on top, talk about it a little bit more, and that'd be pretty much it. So I'll see you on the top. 2 mil, 4 mil, and a 6 mil option, I'm assuming, is how it works. I have to look it up. But when I put the 6 mil option, I have to start adjusting stuff because the flavor starts to get muted. It's still the same chimney and everything, but it just seems like there's something off that I lose flavor. So that was the only thing when I see on this tank, but the accessories are out there for it. Mouth and lung accessories, beauty rings that go up to a 24 millimeter, so you cover your 510. Ultim, you know, accessories, clear polycarbonate accessories. I've got extra tanks because I do sometimes like a lemon juice, like for instance in my billet box right now, I'm running Dinner Lady inside my billet box. And I've had no issues because my main piece is a glass cover. And if this was to break the Boro, that's some strong ass damn juice, bruh. So as you got to see today, you got to see both sides of the tank itself. And with that, you know, I hope you enjoyed the review. There was not a lot to go over. You have a large 5 mil section. He is talking about coming out with a fatter section, I think bringing up to like almost 6 mils. But he's redesigning everything on the inside of it for you. Let's see what else. There's a black rendition now. And that's about it. So I've got 3 of these. I got one here, the titanium, and one more on my shelf. I got plenty of spare tanks. You know, just because I'm over in the Philippines, you know, I don't want to pay shipping all the time. And especially now that the import ban is there, it's getting it here. How the hell am I going to get it? But for a single coil, wide open airflow, it's very quiet. It's got that long draw. The juice I'm using is not up here. Hold on. I've been running this in here. This is why you see my cotton so dark. You can see the juice is dark itself, but it's Hit that donut, Boston cream. This shit is amazing. And that's what I've been running in this. I've tried different juices in it. Boston cream is one real good juice. Excuse me. I'm trying to lose some weight here. Drinking these nasty ass fucking meal replacement shakes from Herbalife. But there's a goddamn button again on this SX. But yeah, so 2 mil PC option, 5 mil PC option right now. Soon, if not already been released, you're going to get a 6 mil tank that you have an option on. A larger set. He also came out with, I think it's something called like the Dual. Basically, you can run a pre-built coil in it, a pre-built coil head. I can't remember the coils he's using inside of them right now, but there's some different ones that you can put a pre-built coil in it and put the tank together. You do not even have to buy a whole new Reaper. All you do is buy an adapter that adapts it into the system. So you don't have to spend a ton of money. He researched this enough and put enough R&D into this to allow you to keep your setup and only buy a small adapter that's rather cheap so you can put pre-made coil in it. And he tells you which one you can have. So other than that, this is a company that's out there trying to make sure you're not spending too much money, you know, on buying products that you don't really need to go and purchase. You know, and that's very good on that. You know, I give that to him. I commend John Hemsley or Hemsworth or I don't have my phone on me right now. But EVL, they're a top-notch company. If you want a tank that has amazing flavor, they're not too expensive. They're out of the UK. I did DHL shipping, of course, which is a little bit more pricey, but they have other options like Royal Mail and stuff, which is like their post office that will come to ours. You can save money that way. Other than that, I mean, it's definitely worth to have it in your collection. I love it. Very, very easy to build on once you get it set just right. I like to build it with my, I call it belly up. And the reason why I say that, if you look at a coil, you have the biggest bulk and then you have the top side of it. So where the legs are down, that's the belly of it. It's underneath. And then this is the top side. So I like to build mine where the belly is up. The reason being is I noticed that that gives me more area in there to be able to get that airflow to come up and hit, gives me more flavor. And on top of that, when I tighten out my legs and I lock everything in, I can take my jig and pull down to make sure everything is nice and tight. You know, versus pulling up, because you still got to remember, this has got a small chamber inside. This is not a tiny chamber. Or a big chamber, may I say. Of course it would do that. Let's just get this to come off. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there it goes. It's coming off. Doing it by finger versus a thing. The chamber is rather small inside of here. Okay, so if you look on the inside, that's a pretty small chamber. You know, and then your build deck is in there, so your coil is sitting right there by, you know, your mouth. So that's probably why a lot of the flavor is there, but it's worth it. The tank is definitely worth it. I give it, if I had to rate it, like if I was on a rating scale like Jay Hayes, 1 to 10, I give this tank probably 8.5. And the only reason why I say 8.5 on it is only because of the the airflow ring. And that will lose a few points on there just for the sole fact that that it falls off, or when you're trying to put it on, it can twist a little bit, so then you have to move it around, make sure it's lined up, twist it all the way back down. If there was a way to lock it on there, maybe make it a magnetic setup, so when it clicked it on, cool. Or if it had a slightly tighter fit maybe, then that would be better. But other than that, that's your EVL Reaper V3 by EVL Vapors. And so this is Joshua Ozzie, the International Vapor, and I am going to talk to you later. Stay tuned for the next review. I'm going to be doing the Integra RTA. And the reason why is because the Integra is an amazing RTA. Flavor is banging on it, and it's an amazing piece. They are list items. You can pick them up sometimes online, but people are still wanting money for these things because they know they're rare. A lot more people have them now, but most people are not releasing them because they do replace most tanks. The two tanks that I use on a religious basis, a regular basis, whatever the hell you want to call it, is either the Reaper or the Integra are the two main tanks that I use. I've got a tripod. I will do a review on it. I'm not very pleased with it. I'll be honest about it. The other one that always stays with me is going to be my billet box. Now with that, I have sold off some of my stuff in here, my Primos, and I'm trying to get a purple one. Obviously, everybody knows I love purple. So, other than that, I hope you enjoyed. I'll talk to you later. And don't forget, go check out their website. I'll link it in the description down below. Hope you enjoyed the review. Leave comments. Tell me anything that you would like me to do better or not. And that's what we'll go from here from now on. And I will talk to you next time.